Ready. Hello.
Yes. Hello.
Hi, Seth. You've been building this AI community in DC for over a year now.
Mhm.
What's your take? How do you feel the space is evolving in Washington, DC?
I think it's exciting because I think we have a long way to go. But what I've seen Catherine, Jabari, you, me, other people do is kind of give a more new and young perspective to the tech community. We love our elders, of course, but I think what's been really cool to see us do is we're holding events that people who are new to the area or just coming up are excited about. And I think for so long, people think that DC and tech is really just a policy thing or a legal thing, but we're bringing experience from everything from startups to your place of employment, which is much bigger than a startup and a lot more financially based. So that's what I've noticed. I think the community is just more exciting because we have more diverse voices now.
Amazing. Yeah. So today we have Sam Lee here.
Hey guys.
He is the Director of Knowledge and at AI Collective DC chapter. We're gonna cook. What are we gonna cook?
We're cooking dumplings. So hopefully pretty smooth, pretty easy.
Hopefully. We'll see how it goes. And why did we choose dumplings?
Because Elif asked me for a recipe and I couldn't think of anything easier. And you've never cooked dumplings before.
Not your version.
Not my, all right, there's a Turkish version.
There's a Turkish version of dumplings, and that's my favorite food on earth. That's my comfort food.
Yep.
So we're going to try a different version that I've never tried, and we'll make everything from scratch. Yes. So bear with us. We don't promise that it's going to be the best dumplings, but I think we'll enjoy it.
Yeah, no, let's do it. I'm excited.
All right, let's start with the dough. I think you can start with
figuring that
situation.
Out. Yeah, this cabbage. This enormously huge cabbage that
Exactly.
I'm definitely not going to cut this right, but it's okay.
Okay, while you're doing it, I want you to talk to me a little bit about your career, because you went to Georgetown.
I did.
School of Foreign Service, right?
Oh, yes, actually, yep.
Exactly. And we have a similar background in that regard. And I wanted to ask you, how did that transition happen from the field of international relations, political science to technology? Because one of the reasons why I'm really inspired to do this podcast is to encourage people who don't have a technical background to jump on this debate. I always say AI is way too important to leave at the hands of software developers only.
Sure.
Nothing against them. We love them. Thank you guys. You're very smart. But, you know, like people who studied ethics and politics and sociology and psychology should be included in this debate if we're building a future. So talk to me a little bit about how your journey evolved from foreign service to technology.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned ethics because that was kind of the gateway for me. I took a data ethics course during college, and that was my first exposure to the potential dangers of, like, yes, data evolution, but I think this technological innovation in general. And I think throughout college, I was always pretty good about just making content. I mean, back then it was more solely just for fun, but I have a YouTube channel. I did a podcast in college, and it was pretty much just always a good way to kind of just check in with how things were going. And that's kind of how I view podcasts these days, where it provides like a nuanced check-in point for people interested in AI. And I think the transition really was because of the first job I had out of college. I was able to do podcast work. So when I started doing more AI community building with Catherine and team, it was a pretty natural flow just to be like, well, I can do a podcast to start. And that's, of course, evolved to not just the podcast, but we had been doing like live stream recaps of events. We did news roundups for a while. I do a lot more like Notion events now for the chapter. So
what do you think your background in policy gave? Like, what kind of perspective it added, like dealing with technical people?
Yeah, I think there's definitely a gap between people in policy and people who are in more technical fields who both want the same outcome, which is like responsible tech that benefits the most amount of Americans possible. I think from the policy side, what I have heard, learned, studied is that they're usually frustrated with how fast tech evolves, and they feel like they're a little out of the loop, versus from people who are of more technical backgrounds, they usually feel like policy people are putting too many guardrails on. So it's almost in diametric opposition, almost.
Yeah.
Because of course there are people who I think can understand both sides. But I think learning from the policy lens first was good because it gives you a perspective of how tech affects non-tech people. Like I think people in the tech space are very smart, and kind of like you mentioned at the beginning, we should definitely appreciate what they're doing. But I think they live in a very different world than a lot of non-technical people do.
A lot of us mortals.
Yeah. And I think there's a growing space between the two, like what you had mentioned, getting people who don't have strict technical backgrounds more involved. But I mean, I think the way we talk about like technical versus non-technical can be very different. I mean, I think the fact that we can edit content, that's a technical skill. And I think it requires a similar mindset of just like perfecting things and seeing the imperfections. And then, but on the other hand, I do think that the people in DC who aren't technical, I don't think policy should be underrated, because ultimately, I think if you really want to affect change in the country, it has to go through government, a working form of government.
For sure. So you've hosted people, you talked about responsible AI, you talked about the new AI Act that the White House recently published. What's your take on what AI safety looks like? After speaking with 15 people in this space since February, where is America heading?
I think America's in a good place. I think that, of course, there are always going to be concerns about AI safety with any disruptive technology, but I think it would be wrong to slow down right now. I remember, I think it was about 2 years ago now, when a bunch of tech leaders signed this letter about how we need to slow down development. Of course, that didn't really happen.
Was it Elon Musk?
Yeah, Elon was on that too. Maybe he created it, but I remember it kind of being a big deal. And of course, the tune has changed. I think what gets lost in the conversation a lot is it's not just like stop AI or grow AI as fast as possible. Yeah, we can move that as we this is a huge cabinet.
I don't think we need all of that.
We don't.
Up to you.
I think maybe just like these two.
Yeah, you do you.
I think we're getting there. As long as they're small enough.
We'll figure it out.
The dough looks good though.
Yeah.
I think that you can see this in any of the episodes, but nobody is just of one mind that AI innovation should be at full speed or should be fully stopped. And I think that can only really be seen through podcasts. Yeah. Because it takes like these 30-minute to an hour conversations of really understanding, well, where do you personally draw the line as somebody in trust and safety, or working at a startup, or working in policy? Yeah. So I think that's what I've noticed the most. It's just like, I think generally it's the correct move to push innovation, but of course that doesn't mean we just disregard like the logistical aspects of it, like sustainability, for example. Like, how are we going to make sure we have enough data centers that are sustainable to push the innovation?
Doomsday scenario versus, if it's all going to be rainbows and butterflies. Like, what's your take on those two extreme views?
I think I'm in the majority, where like I think a lot of people think it's somewhere in the middle, but I think it's because as humans, like, we can't comprehend fully what either would look like. I think something that freaks a lot of people out about AI is like, yes, you have chain of thought. Yes, you can like technically understand a little bit of where it's coming from. But at the end of the day, you don't fully know how these models are coming to their conclusions. And that's what freaks people out. But I think that's like just subjectively super cool that we have been able to create something like that, because it means that whatever the future is. Like maybe it is utopia, maybe it is dystopia. Like humans would have done that, and I don't see that as a bad thing. Like, I think like we as humans, especially the ambitious ones, like to make progress and like to make impact. And of course, like that can go in both directions. But again, I just don't think the answer is to like impede on that too much. Yeah.
I see. Let's go back to discussing DC specifically.
Sure. Happy
so
to.
if you were to, so you've interviewed a lot of founders and a lot of people who are concerned about policy or who are super enthusiastic about the future.
Yep.
If a founder came to you and said, why should I start my AI company in Washington, D.C. instead of Silicon Valley? Or should I? Like, what would your response be?
I think if you want your client to be the government or something federal related, I don't think there's anywhere better than here. But if it's not, I think there's probably more factors to consider.
Yeah.
That's a question I asked most of the founders I interviewed. And I think the response is that there is a growing tech startup presence in DC. I mean, our friends at DC Startup and Tech Week know that. I think that just recently there has been this desire for more community among founders in DC specifically, especially I think with the rise of AI, most notably AI agents recently, you can really start your company anywhere. Like it doesn't have to be in a place like Silicon Valley, even though of course that helps immensely.
Yeah.
But I think because DC is the best place for policy and a lot of legal areas as well, it makes sense because your clientele will be here and they would appreciate, I'm sure, you being like closer rather than farther. But I think if it's outside of the politics or legal realm, like maybe it warrants an extended conversation.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. And Virginia is full of small and big companies who are working with federal government. And
a lot of the data centers are in Virginia as well. I think the majority of data centers in the country are based in Virginia. So that is another, like if you want to make sure that whatever you're building is sustainable, you would probably want to be here because there's growing demand for the data centers despite the unfortunate effects to residents of those areas. But that is what's happening.
After speaking all those founders, was there a startup or a product that you thought was super cool?
Yes. Trustable, guys. Trustible. Trustable. Hi, John. Hi, Andrew, if you're watching. They have been great partners of the pod. I've had John on 3 times now to talk about various things, but they're this really cool, responsible AI startup that helps companies basically develop AI governance structures that work for that company. And I think that's super important. That's why I wrote a piece on why startups should be a bigger conversation about responsible AI topics, because I think a lot of people think about startups as risky, innovative, kind of at the edge. But I think what's cool about a lot of DC startups is that they are really focused on helping companies and others identify like how to deploy AI responsibly. So as Trustable's motto is AI responsibly, I would recommend people check that out. And we'll probably have them on again at some point.
I wonder how they're going about it. Like in my work, day-to-day work, I work for a very big enterprise. And we're trying to bring in AI into our internal products.
Yeah.
And like from who owns the data to who deploys and which team is going to be involved, especially if the data is confidential. If it's not, I wish it was. I wish the data that I was dealing with wasn't confidential. I would have played with all the tools out there and made like really cool games and stuff like that. But unfortunately, a lot of companies are facing with the same dilemma. Like your data is what's the word? Proprietary. That's not a word that I can pronounce. Bella, Asha. Like there's a lot of concerns about like how you feed in that data into AI.
Totally.
And whether it would be trained on it or even if it's a safe environment from a tech perspective. The end users the business users that I work with are very concerned, especially if they're dealing with legal situations or company data that's supposed to be confidential.
Yeah.
Like it's a very tricky area. Do you see a world where cybersecurity, it's going to evolve on its own, but where do you draw the line between let's innovate, let's go full force versus, let's take a step back and make sure we're not putting our data out there?
Yeah, I think that's where you need a really strong legal team. I've seen, especially OpenAI, recently opening like their DC office and trying to hire a bunch of both government and legal folks, because at the end of the day, as we saw, well, we're recording this at the beginning of September, but Anthropic recently just like agreed to pay a substantial amount of money to a lot of like book publishers that it's been training its data off of. And that's a court decision. Like that, I don't think would have happened without the American legal system. And I think you can see that with, some people view what the current administration is doing as innovation, and we'll leave it at that. But I think, as you can see with like any type of supposed innovation, the courts need to be the stopgap. And that can suck because, as we all know, legal processes take time. Yeah. Sometimes indefinitely. But I would say that would be hopefully what is happening.
But do you think there's enough expertise among the legal? Because it's like, even for us who breathe in and out AI, and like I have 90% of my day-to-day, which is sad, by the way, the day-to-day conversations are around this topic.
Why is
but
that sad?
Even because, I have a life.
Part of life.
But it's how are they keeping up with all of this is my question.
I think they're doing their best. Yeah. I do think legal folks they're trained to just be very smart. And that doesn't mean that they always have the right answers. But I do think, I also work at a more legally focused organization, but at least what I've noticed is that I think it just takes a while, but I think they come to the best conclusions that I think humans can understand. And again, that's the tricky part about AI. Humans don't fully understand the technology, but I think I, as an individual, just have faith that some of the people deciding these decisions are hopefully some of our smartest minds in the country. Yeah.
Okay. I want to go back to the AI Collective DC chapter.
Sure.
So you've done a lot of events. You're bringing a community together. So first of all, the word community became such a buzzword, and everyone is a part of a community. Everyone wants to be a community builder. Yeah. Why do you think you guys are doing the right thing, and how do you think you are building an act? Like, what's the vision that you have for building a real community instead of just doing networking events that just brings people together for a couple hours and people move on with their life? Yeah,
I think at least what makes the AI Collective DC community unique is we just have really strong individuals that come in with
is
their
this
own
too
ideas.
Big, by the way?
Yeah, probably we'd probably be like half, honestly. But I think that...
How do I make it small? I'll just...
we can
break it into half and reshape it with our hands.
That's perfect. I can join you as well.
Okay.
And get some flour in my hands. I think, again, you, Catherine, Jabari, me, Liel, we all have our own ideas of what we want to do. This is definitely not my vision for the podcast. It's a beautiful vision that was all constructed by elif. And I feel like that's the difference. We have a really strong team. Yeah. And of course there's others involved too, but the ones I just mentioned, we have all, I think, have made our mark or starting to make our mark on the community. And that is really powerful because at the end of the day, no one really cares about the name of the AI Collective. They care that Jabari's hosting an event, or they care that Sam's doing another Notion event, or that Catherine's going to be at the event. That's what people care about because that's what community is about. So I agree that it's become a buzzword, but I think what makes us stand out and the reason why people keep coming back to our events is because they know us. They know the people in it and leading it, and they like that we want to like you said, get past the networky conversations, and like there's no other community that can go from AI artists to Notion events to AI soirees to launch parties to even having like the online ecosystem we have with DC Decoded. Like I really just don't think there's another DC tech community that does all that.
Yeah. And you have very strong partnerships with DC data community. So it's not like you don't do it in a vacuum. That's one thing I really appreciated ever since I started coming to your events and helping out. Okay, you're making mine even more smaller or what?
This is a perfectly
shaped.
I think, yeah, this is perfectly.
And this is mine. Good enough is good. Okay, life is not meant to be perfect.
Oh yeah, as you like perfectly set up everything. Yeah, I'm sure you believe that.
I just care about how visuals.
No, I get it, and I think both of these are visually good. I think they're both.
Okay. So I'll do the first. I'll do the MVP, and you perfect it. You productionize it.
Okay, that sounds good. That's all.
But so going back to what I was saying. So what I really appreciated is how you guys work together with other organizations like the generative AI folks that are more in the art space, and the data community that's like mostly data scientists who are based in Washington, D.C. So you collaborate quite a bunch. How do you think that's like pans out? Because in my world, in the corporate world, we talk about collaboration. We love partnerships. We do all of that. But when it comes to actually partnering, things get a little trickier. Things get slower. Things like there becomes a lot of cooks in one kitchen, and that slows innovation. So how do you deal with that?
I think it's just choosing really strong partners. I mean, when we partner with DC, like with the data community, for example, it's not like a one-off thing, or with the generative series or with DC Startup and Tech Week, like we're doing a bunch of events with them.
Yeah.
So I've heard, and we might be doing podcasts as well with them.
Nice.
So I think just like what I said about how for the AI collective, there's definitely certain people who are very involved. It's like the same thing with these other communities. Like I think for DC Startup and Tech, like we know Seema is like leading that. She's great. Shout out Seema. And she has a great relationship with like you, Catherine, Jabari.
Yeah.
So it's this is kind of honestly like what I wanted to go.
You want them to be smaller. So the Turkish version is like tiny. Ours is much smaller. But I don't think...
I don't know space-wise.
No, not that, that, but it would take an hour and a half for us to finish it. So
we'll do bigger ones.
We'll do our best, you guys.
No, we're figuring it out.
It'll taste good, I have no doubt.
No, you said that. What did you say last time? You were like, and if it doesn't taste good, we'll like order pizza.
Yeah, we're just going to order pizza and we'll eat pizza. That's fine.
Yeah. But I think it's applying that same principle of like really key and strong individuals in other communities who you can trust to execute again and again. I mean, for me, that I've gotten so much support from Notion this past year to like hold a bunch of Notion events, and like definitely could not have done it without them. And I think it's the same mentality of like, you just need good people, and then the organization or the good partnerships will follow. Because otherwise, you have too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah.
You say you have a bunch of partnerships, but like, what does that mean in practice? And I mean, I'm telling you things I'm sure you already know.
Yeah. So. What's the relationship with the bigger like AI collective community globally or in the US? Like how much do you guys interact? And I want Catherine and Jabari to be here for the next episode so that I can ask these questions to them as well.
Yeah.
But if you can talk a little bit about the bigger collective and what they're doing.
Sure. I think from what I understand, the collective is still focused on just being the biggest AI community in the world. And I think they've achieved that. Especially, I think our New York chapter is strong. I think our chapters in India are strong. Our Toronto chapter is strong. And we're continuing to build across the world. I think what we're noticing is that each chapter is going to have its own personality. Like the
Mhm.
DC chapter, I think is going to be very different from
Of course.
any chapters in the Bay or in other parts of the states and world. And I think from what I can tell, I think what the collective is trying to focus on right now is how to empower each chapter to be able to have their own like unique style,
Mhm.
but still be under the same ethos of this organization that wants to ultimately, I think, promote the good of AI
Mhm.
and all the nuances that come with that. So I think that's the goal. The goal is to be the largest community and to sustain that. And that's a lot of work. And a lot of that
Yeah.
is because of Catherine and Chappie, the head of the AI collective.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's just finding that balance of course, there are going to be cultural differences and different goals per chapter, but we're still all working towards the same thing.
Yeah. I love that. I want to ask you about your content creation journey.
Sure.
What I noticed from your style is that, like, instead of trying to go viral, instead of trying to cater to everybody, and that's one thing you told me when I first told you, you know, I want to interview this person. Now you were like, chill out, girl. So instead of like going big, I realized you go deep. Like instead of having like millions of subscribers, you want to have like 100 real listeners.
Yeah.
How did you come to that, and why? Because that's so counterintuitive to the day and age that we're in social media.
Sure. Well, let me be clear. Millions of subscribers would not be opposed. I would not be opposed to that. But yeah, like it's not the goal.
Yeah.
And I think it's because I think the more serious you pursue content, the more you realize that as long as you have up to like 1,000 true fans, like you can be fine. Like you can make something out of that. And also because I think we're currently in a period where there is so much content where like if you are not making something different, I just really don't see the point of you putting that to the public, personal opinion. And in order to be different, you have to cater to more niche audiences. So I think following the chain of logic, you kind of arrive at that conclusion of, okay, well, in order to be different, I'm not just going to be another like hard fork. I'm not going to be another Uncanny Valley, New York Times and Wired, respectively. I need to do something for my community. So I think the fact that we have like 650 plus subscribers who are majority just AI professionals in DC is something I'm very proud of. And I think it's reflective of what we are trying to build, which is a product for the community by the community. So it feels special. It feels more special than like, of course, like it'd be great to have 2,000, 3,000, a million, but like where does that stop? Like there's not a point where you're like, great, I have 100 million subscribers, which is, I don't think anybody does. So it feels more special and like more meaningful and more long lasting than just constantly chasing reality. Again, not opposed, but not something to like beat yourself up about.
And also, I don't know, it feels more authentic. And that's what the word community should be about.
Totally.
It shouldn't be about, you know, I remember you said something like there are so many good podcasts out there. And what would make us is that we want to speak to our community and ask questions to them instead of because everything is so accessible nowadays. Like information, the access to information is not a problem.
Nope.
The problem is curation of relevant content.
Exactly.
And I think you guys are doing a very, very good job in that as the director of knowledge.
Thank you. And the history of the dumpling, oh my God. I mean, like some of my ancestors. So pretty sure it definitely started in Asia. There's no way it's not Asia.
I think so
Yeah.
too.
So it started in Asia.
Don't quote us on this, but
don't quote us on anything we're about to say, but let's say 500 BC. Let's just say 500 BC. Somebody probably was just eating these things separately, but then one day, a genius, let's just call him Sam, he decided to put it all together, and man had fire at that point. So once he boiled it, he realized that this was something that he could sell and be a really popular product. And I think the rest is history. And now, thanks to that guy named Sam, we have dumplings. So that's the history.
I love it. Do you think this is too much? Like half of it, maybe?
Half, yeah.
Okay.
And I have a lot.
And I think every culture has their own version of dumplings.
100%.
That's what I
100%.
love about it. It's such a universal thing. And I also brought yogurt because in Turkey, we add yogurt on everything. Like I would eat yogurt with pasta. Sorry, Italians. But
Whoa.
yeah.
Yeah,
you eat
sorry.
yogurt with... It's really good. You're going to see.
No, I believe you. I'm excited to try it.
So, I think we can put like these and take that space for us.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we will want to put this eventually on that, but yeah.
Yeah. So I brought some yogurt, so we're gonna mix and match the Turkish version. And I made the yogurt. It's that's my red line. The yogurt in the West is mostly sweet.
Yeah.
And we eat yogurt like sour.
Okay.
It's like the sour cream for us. So it's called
vinegar?
Yes. You asked for a brown vinegar. I found black vinegar.
I think that's what I meant. It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, very essential. Especially like there's Chinese brands of it that are very just quintessential. But yes, vinegar to the Chinese. Hopefully not disrespecting. I'm just happy to be here, guys. Like literally, I'm happy to be here. AI as artificial intelligence. While there's of course a technical definition of it's supposed to simulate what human intelligence is, I think in practice, it means something very different to everybody. And I think not everybody needs to be using AI right now.
Oh, wow. That's a radical take. I never heard some AI person say that. Everybody's you're either in it or you're going to die.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. I think about like farmers, or I think about other people, even like, it doesn't have to be that, but even like students to an extent. I don't think, you can just put it. If you're anybody, like, I really just don't think it's at the point where it's essential. Maybe you'll get to that point. But I think what I would say about how it impacts you is that it's already in our systems to a huge extent, like our financial institutions, our political ones.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's really hard not to come into contact with AI. But I think in terms of what it means to everybody, it's still up to you. I would say for people who are interested in learning more about AI, especially non-technical folks, I mean, first listen to podcasts because they will give you like a really nuanced takes that you're not going to get from news articles or anybody leading the AI movement right now, in my opinion. But also, like, I think the beautiful thing about AI is that it democratizes technology even more. Like, it used to be just people who could code, could create products. And this is not my full support for vibe coding. But like, as an example, I think like being able to use AI more to make your own products, like, especially for creatives, that's huge. Not because like all AI generated creativity is good, but as a creative who uses AI to streamline processes, but also to like think of new ways to approach topics that I care about, like, that's a huge thing as a creative. So I think it's figuring out how to make AI work for you. And if that is like once a day or 100 times a day, like, I think both are fine. It's still about like the value you're providing with how you're using it.
The products that you're going to use have already had AI in them anyways. Exactly. Like the Gen AI came and we all opened our eyes to a world where everybody's talking about AI, but the machine learning algorithms have been in them and working in all of our systems, the fintech and everything that we're surrounded, the technologies that we're surrounded with anyways.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I think something that I generally try to keep as like a rule of thumb is anybody that talks about AI in really definite terms, like it will be good, it will be bad, I usually just disagree with and will either probe if I can, or if I'm like listening to them at a panel, I'll tune out a little bit because it's the ones, that's perfect. I think it's the ones that can talk about how AI impacts, like you said, like I think you just laid out a really clear like supply chain system. Like once AI makes sense to incorporate for your business, your passions, your products, like that's what matters more than AI in the abstract, because you don't really get anywhere. In my opinion.
And how do you use it yourself? Like, give me I know you use Notion a lot.
I do use
and
Notion a
I
lot.
love Notion.
Shout out Notion.
I've been
We love Notion.
using Notion for years.
I'm gonna get more water because we'll want to wet the edges of it.
Okay.
Where's your little globe? Ah, here. Okay, I'll be back.
Okay.
I'll be back, guys. But I mean,
He's
we can
gonna
still
be back.
talk, right, with the mic, or
I'll wait for you. We're
Okay,
not
we
in a
can
rush. I will pet Bella. Yeah. Yeah. Bella, yeah.
Oh, Bella, do you want some as well? No? Here, you want some? Not the beer.
This is almost boiled.
Okay. I need to. Here, you take that one. How about that? Okay. Just because AI is, yes, a novel topic does not mean the rules of being human do not apply anymore. The rules of businesses don't apply anymore. If anything, they're heightened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Human beyond tech.
I know, exactly. And my take is always like the technology industry seems to build hammers and then look for
nails
to solve. And I, like, as somebody whose background is in human sciences, let me put it that way, I'm more concerned about like taking a step back and finding, okay, what are our problems, and then build a hammer around it instead of trying to find a use case. That's what it feels like with LLMs. Like, it's a great technology. You've put it out there, and now we're all trying to find use cases for it instead of putting the human at the center. And when I say a human, I don't mean it just what we need at work, but more like holistically. What does it mean to be a human?
Totally.
What are our needs? What are the essential needs that we have to live a fulfilling life? So that's what the motto of Human Beyond Tech has been.
Yeah, I love that.
These are massive. Then I have never seen.
Yeah.
These look like Georgian.
This is more, the shape that we were
hoping for.
We were going.
It's okay. We'll figure it out.
No, it'll be good.
Yeah.
This probably will take longer to cook.
My day-to-day life is usually people who see the risks of AI much more than the potentials of it. And I can totally see and empathize with them. Like what I hear at work is kind of like they feel like it's like the 90s when the internet came, how they had to shift the way they're working. They see the same thing happening, and but a big problem is that they don't trust it. So trusted AI, like we talk about AI safety, and we want to make sure it's inclusive, it doesn't have bias. I also brought this spoon.
Oh, perfect.
What's your take on the trust issue? Because you really can't trust the output yet.
Totally. I think that's actually the good part. Like, I think the fact that you approach AI as it currently stands with skepticism is actually really good. I work at a free speech organization where we're constantly doubting just like what institutions say, because usually there is some free speech implication. And the first step towards authoritarianism is like when free speech is starting to be attacked and silenced. So maybe that's just my bias, but I think skepticism is super healthy and important. And I'm really glad to hear that, because especially at your organization that has maybe global implications. And it's important because I don't know if we'll ever get to a point where we fully trust AI. Do we fully trust humans? I don't.
I do. That's the problem.
No, I trust elif. But like, I think it's kind of how you would approach anything that promises to help you. Like, it's always like, what's the catch, or tell me more. And I think we need to keep that for as long as we can with AI models.
So I went through that journey of like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever, to where I'm right now. I'm like, I love the fact that I can now just prompt and vibe code a prototype.
Yeah.
It used to take working with 3D developers.
Yeah.
And coming up with wireframes. And, at work, I stopped doing PowerPoints. I literally just built the web app.
Yeah.
Instead of telling them this is what I want it to look like. And this, like, instead of doing wireframes, I'm like, yalla, this is what I want it to look like. And then we work on the back end.
Totally.
And I really encourage my colleagues to do the same.
Yeah.
So that's incredible. Like, I feel like a superhuman. Now I'm able to do things that I wasn't able to do last year.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I'm concerned about losing meaning at work even more. Like, what does it mean to have big portions of my work being automated?
Yeah.
How does that impact my well-being at work, essentially?
Totally.
And we can go into the bigger debates of jobs and job creation versus losing jobs, and we'll probably need another hour for that. But, like, as a human being, I don't feel like this text belongs to me. And I don't know how to make sense of it if it's escalates into something like I am just a loop, like a human in the loop that checks things.
Yeah.
What does it mean to create?
I think at least how things currently stand, at least with podcasting or hosting events, I think I can tell still when like people use chat or Claude versus like more of a melding of the two. Like I think there is something like uniquely human about conversations, like in-person events, and that could just be like proven wrong at any point. But at least for now, I still feel like there is a difference. And I think something that might never go away is like the ability to have taste as a human, like the way you have set everything up like this. Like, sure, AI could technically replicate it, but it's not going to be on the first try. It's going to be like after several different iterations and probably won't be exactly like how you want it. So even just like how you set this up, I feel like, yeah, AI technically can replicate it, but there's something unique about the way you wanted to set it up that I'm sure resonates with other people.
Yeah.
And that's at least the frame of mind I operate from, because I don't think there's a question anymore that AI can do things just as well or as better than us, especially in the knowledge part. But that doesn't mean there isn't value to how humans do it. I think we should try one.
Yeah.
I think it's time.
Okay. Let me give you one of the small ones.
I think that's going to be a unique... Is it cooked? Okay, good. But that's always
It's a lot of dough.
All right, guys. Cheers.
I'm good.
Maybe
Like 5 out of 10.
Maybe the cabbage wasn't the right call.
Why?
I don't know. Kind of just... That is very doughy. That is quite doughy. I probably would rather just... We...
There's not salt.
What do we want to do?
Worst case, we'll order pizza.
Or we order dumplings.
Or dumplings. There's a really nice dumpling place.
Dumplings and Beyond?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
We're gonna eat.
Away. Okay.
How did your journey with AI Collective start? How did you get involved?
Catherine McMillan, everyone. She is a workhorse. And basically, I saw her post about, I think it was DC Tech Parties. Shout out Adrian, who does a great job with those. And I saw that they were looking for volunteers at the end of last year. And it's almost been a year. So,
Wow.
yeah, Catherine's great. And she, sorry guys, my dog. When she's in your corner, she really is. And I would highly recommend anybody who is at all interested in AI, you don't even have to be DC based to get to know her. I would say that at least the way the DC chapter currently stands, you kind of have to come in with your own idea. Like, I think, of course, there's a lot of support in the community, but I think we are, at the end of the day, a community of self-starters. So I would recommend anybody, I think, not to shade anybody who has said this, but the least helpful thing you could say is, let me know how I can help, because that's not helpful.
And come to the events.
Yes.
Come
Very
to the
important.
events.
Make with Notion event in DC, October 1st. Please come. The Luma page hopefully will be ready by now. So that's going to be great. Elif's going to be there. Jabari's going to be there. I think Catherine's going to try to be there. I'll be there. And if you like Notion, if you haven't heard of Notion, if you're curious about Notion, we welcome all. There's going to be food, drinks, if everything goes to plan. So October 1st.
October 1st. Hopefully better food than this.
Yeah, me and Elif are not going to cook. We're not going to cook for that one.
We're not cooking.
Is there a name for this sauce? Or just your Elif sauce?
This is a Turkish grandma sauce.
Turkish grandma sauce. TGS.
Anneanne sauce. That's what I would call it. And
Love.
Okay, so then we're gonna add a bunch of
The spices, yeah.
spices. I brought these from Turkey.
What's the difference between southern Turkey flavors and other parts of Turkey?
They're more spicy. Like
Okay.
it's the neighboring city to Syria, for example.
Sure.
And that's where the kebabs and all the like good meats
Yeah.
originates.
Yeah.
Versus the Western Turkey is more. It's neighboring Greece.
Mhm.
So it's more like herbs and green stuff, like less meat and less spicy.
Got it.
Yeah.
Great.
We stole a lot of their recipes and claimed that they're ours for you guys.
Oldest history story in the book. We stole it from another region.
Exactly.
That's pretty good.
But yogurt is my red line.
Okay.
That's why I make my own yogurt. Everything else can belong to other countries.
Sure.
But yogurt is Turkish.
You heard it here, guys. I'm sure you've said it before. How did you hear about the chapter in the community?
LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And it happened so smoothly. I think I saw a post on LinkedIn
Mm-hmm.
and then just showed up at the event. And I started taking pictures, just like I always do. I started taking pictures and I sent the pictures to Jabari and Catherine. That was the first event. And the second event, I showed up again and I took pictures and I said, how can I help? Like, I'm
Yeah.
here.
Wait, I remember you took pictures at the Notion event.
That
I was like, who is that?
Who is?
Oh,
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I was just doing it for fun and
Yeah.
for myself. And,
that's awesome.
And yeah, like that kind of proactivity, I think. And it's been like a gift to me. You have no idea.
You're our gift. I remember like you posted one of your LinkedIn's. I think it was after the rooftop event we did with Generative. And I was like, you were like so lucky to be in this community. I'm like, no, we're lucky to have you.
Oh, thank you for saying that.
Yeah, but that's awesome. And
where do you want this podcast to go? Like now that you're kind of passing the torch.
yeah, I'm not going away. I think that I want to switch more to what I've been doing recently, which is this. Yeah, thank you. Which is more the live stream episodes talking about very specific things, like about the White House AI action plan or the No DeepSeek Act that's still stalled in Congress.
Yeah.
So I want to shift to more quick hits and let you do more of the nuance. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And I also think that for the podcast in general, I would love to see multiple shows under the chapter brand. Like,
Yeah.
I still think the original mission of the podcast stands true, which is to be the go-to source for what's really happening with AI in DC.
Yeah.
That requires multiple voices and multiple series ideas and multiple perspectives. And I think the only barrier is the ability to execute and actually put stuff out. So I hope that in the year we are doing multiple shows, because it's not easy. It's not easy at all. I think they like mine a lot more than
I know. But
They're
I'm
not-
used to them and I'm not
okay.
afraid of them at all. I
Yeah.
have a good relationship.
Oh, you're like Queen Bee. This is Queen Bee behavior. Wait, I want to try the yogurt sauce as well.
This is your
Oh,
yogurt.
okay. I have my own. Sorry, I got
Hello,
distracted
buddy.
by this.
Hello. Come.
Wow, you really are like their mom.
What can I feed you?
Amazing.
Not the best one I've ever had.
No, I agree. But the sauce really helps.
But
It really makes a difference. But hey, I'm proud of us. We did it. This is,
we nailed it.
we made a meal. That's all I care about.
We need something cold to drink.
I know. And I see you want to make tea though.
Not a good choice.
I love my work. Like I love my content. And I think it's something special to like have a passion be your work. And I know that doesn't work for everybody, but it's like simultaneously, I love working hard for this stuff. And I also feel like I'm like just at the beginning, like what I can do. I mean, this is already just so inspired. Like I'm not about to do the same stuff. That's
Yeah.
insane in a good way. Like that's a compliment to you.
Thank you.
But there's so much for me to learn. And especially in this past year of hitting certain milestones with my content, like view wise, revenue wise, attention wise, community wise. Yeah, I'm really excited to just keep working hard and learning. I love being the dumber one or the dumbest one in the room because I think if you go into it with like the right attitude, you can get a lot from it.
Yeah.
And I feel that way a lot at our events, and I think I'm better off for it. So that's how I feel about DC. Like location, I love it here.
I totally hear you. And I think our generation, we're such in a privileged place to be like, I can work from wherever I want as long as I have stable Wi-Fi and a computer.
Yeah.
That's a gift that I want to honor.
Yeah.
I never wanted to live in one place only.
Yeah.
I'd like to have multiple hubs that I can jump between.
Totally. Yeah.
And DC is definitely a beautiful home, especially as an expat, immigrant, whatever you want to call it. It's very easy to blend in compared to probably other parts of the United States.
Sure.
Because there's a lot of international people. And it has a lot to offer. Like the fact that we have this, like this is not what people think about when they think about DC. People think that DC is all these like massive government buildings and like gray and people in suits. But 15 minutes away from that, you have this beautiful gardens and trails, and I don't know, DC has a lot to offer. So I feel very, very grateful to be here. The grinding culture is very prominent in this country. Honestly, like the more you grind, the more you suffer,
the more respect you
the
get,
better
it
is.
Yeah.
Like everyone is complaining about how busy they are, how expensive things are.
Yeah.
That's not a good thing, my brothers.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I might have gotten a little tired in life.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't need to prove the world that I can have it all. I can be the most successful, the most beautiful, the most athletic, the most... Bella has no intention to become the best dog. Bella doesn't wake up every morning and think that, how can I be a better dog today?
Yeah.
Bella is just Bella.
Yeah.
So I'm at a stage in my life where I just want to be without the need to improve myself. And I have a very limited time in this earth.
Yeah.
And this connection, this conversation is worth 20 million times more than what this modern society is telling me that I should be chasing.
Yeah. I have a friend who's really into improv, like she wants to do it professionally at some point, and it has a lot of the same creative mentalities as like content. And one thing she always says is like, be obvious, be average. Like those are like the two most contradictory things to what you're just saying about like American culture. And yeah, like everything you just said made me think about that. Like there's so much value in being relatable as a human. And you don't get that when you're the best at everything. And I think that kind of goes to the conversation about like what is the value of human content creation if AI could do it better or just as well. And I think it's the fact that like I think it's impossible to relate to AI. I've never like seen an output from an LM. It's just like, that gets me. It's more just like, okay, that is an output that I can use now for like my work or like my thoughts. But I think especially with AI, like I think COVID started it, but especially with AI, like people crave community. You can see it in every event we host. Like every event, I've talked to at least a few people that are like, this is like what we need. And these are everybody from like solopreneurs to people who work at places like where you work with hundreds of thousands of people.
Yeah.
And I think I only see that growing. Like I think the AI collective kind of saw ahead of the curve a little bit on it. Because when I first heard about it, I was like, what's a community? Like what's the money there? Like what's the power there? But I think I've seen other communities try to like model what we do or want to partner with us and be more involved. And I think, so much how I feel about my own content, like we're just at the start of what we can do community wise, content wise. And if we could be just like a little bit better than others, like that's the value we have for our community.
Yeah.
And genuinely, I just don't think there's another podcast in the city that is for the community by the community.
Okay. We ate our dumplings.
They were okay. I revised it to like a 7 out of 10.
Okay.
I think
With the sauce.
with the sauce, it definitely elevated.
Yeah.
So 7 out of 10, guys.
6.5.
Somebody is a pessimist. I think we know who the optimist for all days is after this.
Yeah. So before we close out, I wanted to ask you, Gavin. So I wanted to ask you, what are your closing messages? See you. What are your closing messages to our community? Where should they find us? What's the best way to find you?
Yes. So subscribe to DC Decoded. We are on Substack, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. The best way to find me when bugs are not flying around and driving me insane, to search up Sam H. Lee on YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, Substack. Those are the ones I focus on. And if you want to talk about Notion stuff or podcast stuff, that's usually where I'm at. So
perfection.
Yeah, thank you, Elif, for hosting it. This was insane. So I've never done something like this, and I very much appreciate it.
Thank you. So as part of the series, I want to start.
Okay.
Taking a video. I'm sorry, taking a picture.
Okay, I was like, I didn't know you take videos of these.
And then we have this cookbook that I want to, I don't know if you recognize this. This is from Ratatouille.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, no, I do.
Yeah, so this is
see it
an empty cookbook that we are going to fill in with this.
Daunting. It's a really big cookbook.
And I would like you to write down the recipe for today.
100%.
And we will put it under the description as well if you want to try it at home.
Okay, perfect.
Try cooking massive, big dumplings.
Okay, perfect.
Let's go. Perfect. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. This was lovely.
Thank
Such
you.
a unique experience. All right, I will write it down now. Ooh, where did you get this book from?
Disney.